So, good morning, happy Sunday everybody. Welcome back to Daily Transfer Update. Obviously you can see I've got a lovely backdrop behind me and the sun is good and Arsenal are good right now. Another resounding victory last night, or early hours of this morning, depending on where you watched it, against Fiorentina. The kids impressed again. Joe Willock scored a great goal. Eddie Nketiah scored two fantastic goals. First one of his was a brilliant bit of skill. He sort of cut back inside and then wrong-footed the goalkeeper. Second one was great play from the team, Lacazette squaring it and the first time finish. Joe Willock's goal though, pinged it straight on the postage stamp. What a finish that was. But Martinelli as well did this mad solo run, nutmegged the guy on halfway and just went. He was gone. Unfortunately he put it wide, but that would have been some finish if he had scored that. And I've said, listen, I don't watch Brazilian football, but I know that this kid is a very big talent. I've said this before for anyone who's missed it. A friend of mine works for ESPN and he's a South American correspondent, stuff like that. He writes blogs and stuff as well. And he's told me, DM me when we were linked to him, he said he's an absolute baller and he'll be a joy to watch. He'll light up the league. So listen, it looks like he's getting a chance right now. One thing I want to say is about Eddie Nketiah. That guy seems to have taken his chance and took it with both hands. He has been absolutely on fire in pre-season so far. Now, Unai Emery has challenged him to stay at Arsenal and force his way into the first team. And he came out with some quotes after the game saying that we did try loaning him to Germany last season. That didn't go through. He wanted to stay. And at the beginning of this pre-season, there was 50-50 chance he could go out on loan. Obviously, Bristol City were linked to him. And Emery said, no, look, stay and fight for your place, see what you can do. But obviously, Nketiah wants to play games, and rightly so. Listen, he's getting no younger, and he's done absolutely fantastic in our youth setup, but also Chelsea's youth setup before he came to us. So it looks like we're not going to loan him out, and that could end up saving us £20-30 million on a backup striker, because he's full of confidence right now. Some of the stuff the guy is doing in pre-season is just absolutely fantastic. And listen, long may that continue. Another player I want to speak about before I get into some players we're linked to is Alex Iwobi. Now, Alex Iwobi has basically come out and said that it could be the end of his Arsenal career if Wilfried Zaha signs for us. And I haven't got the exact direct quote on me right now. Most of it's up here. But he didn't say he wanted to leave. He just said, listen, football's my joy, it's my passion. It'd be difficult if Zaha comes in. And I've been told for years, over the years, growing up as a footballer, that you're never going to make it, you're never going to be good enough. He goes, but my joy and my passion is to play football. And if I don't get the game time that I need, then I will have to go elsewhere. Now, that's not exactly saying that he's going to leave. But listen, if Zaha comes in, Zaha's a better player than him. I think we can all agree on that. And it is going to be difficult for him to get that left forward spot. But for me, his position is central midfield. Maybe as an attacking midfielder, or maybe as an Aaron Ramsey type player, a number 8 type player, box to box. So I think that, listen, Alex Iwobi, I rate him. I think he's a good player. I know a lot of Arsenal fans get on his case and stuff like that, but personally, I think he's a good footballer, and I think he's got a wicked career at Arsenal if he keeps his head down and keeps improving. Now let's move on to William Saliba. Unai Emery spoke about him after the game against Fiorentina, the 3-0. And he said that we want to get the top talent. He goes, and if that means we have to wait for a season to get top talent, then so be it. We wait a season. He said that he wants to get in 1, 2, 3 or 4 top quality players, and we will not settle for second best. He said that he wants to go for his number 1 targets and number 1 targets only. Now, there's 2 ways of looking at that. You could say, well, hang on a minute. You've got your number 1 target, fantastic. But if the number 1 target doesn't go through and you end up with nobody, then you're light going forward into next season. So, I don't know. Listen, I just think that we've got to have backup plans. Any big club will have a backup plan, and any big club will have number 1 target, number 2 target, number 3 target. Now, if our number 1 target is Wilfried Zaha, for example, for the left forward position, and we can't get him, then there should be a number 2. There should be an Everton Suarez, or a number 3 option, Ryan Fraser, even a number 4 in Malcolm. You should have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Obviously, you don't tell these players where they are in the pecking order, but at the same time, every single big club has to have 1, 2 and 3 targets. So I don't know whether that's just Unai Emery giving it lip service, but he said that our number 1 target for centre-back was William Saliba. That's basically what I've read out of that they've secured a number 1 target. Yes, he's not coming in for a year, but it is a number 1 target in that position, and they're not too peed off about waiting for a year. Now, whilst that's all well and good, we need a centre-back for this summer. We need a centre-back going into the first game against Newcastle, and William Saliba is not going to be that guy. All reports lead to the fact that will be unveiled as a proper Arsenal player next week, maybe as early as Tuesday. So we're going to have to all keep our eyes peeled for that. He should be an Arsenal player by Tuesday. Now let's move on to Dani Ceballos. I still can't get that guy's name right, despite you guys helping me out in the comments section. But I hope I pronounced it right that time. Ceballos, Dani Ceballos. Again, this is another player that is a number 1 target, if you read all the reports. It is with an option to buy, apparently, £45 million with an option. It's a loan fee with an option of £45 million buyout. Now, listen, that apparently is going to be done again as early as Tuesday next week. We're going to apparently unveil 2 players next week and make it all official, which would be fantastic. Listen, it'll get the fans back on side. There's a lot of fans right now down in the dumps, disorientated with the club and how we've dealt with our transfer dealings this summer. Now, listen, whether you think it's good business or bad business to sign Salaburu or Ceballos, that's irrelevant. The fact that we would have signed these 2 players as early as next week, if you believe the reports out there, makes everyone get a buzz. It makes us get a lift, you know. We would have signed Martinelli. We would have signed this guy, Ceballos, and we would have signed William Saliba. That's 3 summer transfers. Yes, one's not coming until next summer, but we're still actively trying to buy players. And that leads me on to Moise Kean. The Juventus striker has been linked with a £30 million move to Arsenal in the last 24 hours. And listen, this kid's got bags of ability, bags of talent. We all remember when he was racially abused in the back end of last season over in Italy, and it's disgusting behaviour, man. And so I don't wish that upon anyone. It's 2019 and this stuff's still going on. It's an absolute disgrace. But moving away from that, this kid is absolutely fantastic. And for £30 million, we could do a hell of a lot worse than that, of course. But then where does that leave Eddie Nketiah? Because Eddie Nketiah is on fire at the minute. Can he make that step up to Premier League and do what he's doing in pre-season in the Premier League? I think he can. I've always maintained over the whole of this summer, I think Nketiah should go on loan. Unai Emery doesn't want him to go on loan, so we shall see. But if he does stay, then Moise Kean ain't going to be a possibility, surely, because then we'd have 4 strikers fighting for 2 spots. So I don't know, but Juventus want to have a clause in that contract where they can buy him back for £36 million. So I don't know. I don't know whether that's a good bit of business in the first place. £30 million with an option to buy back for 6 more. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's move on to Nicolas Pepe. A lot of reports going around France again today and late last night that we have gone in with £80 million bid for Nicolas Pepe. Now, we all remember Ornstein came out last week and said it's absolute rubbish. We haven't bid £74 million for him. Blah, 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 blah. And then there was reports over in France. Then Pepe himself came out and said, nobody's coming for me. So, again, there's reports going around that Arsenal have put the feelers out there. They are trying to actively try and get him. Now, this is where I'm confused. Is Wilfried Zaha the number 1 target, or is Nicolas Pepe the number 1 target? Because both of them are fantastic players. Let's get it right. They're very, very talented footballers. Now, I'm not so sure they're worth the money, let's be real, but if you want to act like a big club and you want to be a big club, you have to pay big club money. And if that means you pay £80 million to get Nicolas Pepe, you pay £80 million. If it means you pay 75, 80 million for Wilfried Zaha, you go and do the same likewise there. I'm not so sure. Listen, there's one more thing I want to wrap up on is the Everton Suarez. Again, there's reports going around today, £36 million. A lot of that's going to be add-ons. Over £10 million will be add-ons. But then all the reports coming out of Brazil suggest that we haven't actually had any contact with him. So, I don't know. Listen, we're going into the squeaky bum time of the transfer window. The next couple of weeks, we have to pull out some business. So, anyway, leave it all in the comments section. Let me know what your thoughts are on the youngsters, because I watched the highlights of that. I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights of that. Joe Willock, Saka, Martinelli and Eddie Nketiah, absolutely superb. Every single one of them could step up. whether it be after a loan move or straight away. That could save us an absolute fortune if them 4 break through. So anyway, leave all that in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on Eddie Nketiah especially. Would you loan the kid out and give him a year's experience, play him every single week? Or would you just put him on the bench at Arsenal, play him here and there, bring him on? He looks super confident right now, and that can only be a boost for Arsenal. Anyway, I'm going to go down the beach. I'm going to go and rep the Gooners down the beach. Come on, Arsenal. Laters, peeps.